Joy Guru, I am Amalendu Chatterjee, as you possibly know, and I am an ex associate professor and a SPR. Uh, I would like to discuss something about what Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra has meant by religion or dharma. This is the topic of today, you can say. Do subscribe to this channel of mine, namely Anukul Kotha, if you like my content and deliberation. Uh, as a matter of fact, somebody told me that you people actually you used to discuss religious matter or spiritual matter in Bengali mostly, but for us, please tell at least in English language. And if it is not possible to discuss each and every topic, then at least you should discuss briefly on the entire chapter of Sattanusaran, the only book that Sri Thakur Anupulchand has written in his own hand, I would like to say. So, and this primarily, this is my, you can say, this is my task, or you can say, this is my motto to read Sattanusaran and try to explain it as far as my intellect goes. Or you can say, whatever little I have understood from the philosophy of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. Now, today, I would like to discuss about, as I have already stated, regarding religion or dharma. It's a very vast subject, as you all know, and it's much discussed topic also. Everybody says about this, as you all know, possibly, and you may have heard it from different religious organizations and very premier organizations also. Uh, and they discuss it in a, I think, much better way than me. That's for true. But let me try, see, in my own way to discuss it. Whatever Sister Thakur Anukulchand has meant by the term religion or dharma. Uh, I would like to say that this topic can be discussed from multi-point agenda, or you can say multi-point, uh, uh, you can say multi-point angles. Now, let me discuss it one after another. Firstly, Sisi Thakur Unkuchanda stated that, you see, religion is a desire. You see, you can say, is a holy desire to elevate uh, others' life, being and becoming to my level. In other words, for example, myself. Let's say I know something about religion or dharma, whatever you may call, and I would like to elevate, I would like to increase, I would like to augment, I would like to enhance the level of consciousness of other people who are supposed to be, you can say, that they do not know much about religion or dharma. This does not, however, automatically mean that I am superior than that person or those persons. No, not like that. I would like to say that, as Sisi Thakur Unkulchanda stated, that religion means it's a desire. It's a fervent desire to elevate others, you see, being and becoming. That is how others can live and grow. See, it means that it's nothing but unselfishness. So the first thing that Sister Akunkulchana stated, that religion is nothing but unselfish deeds. As you possibly know, Vivekananda has also stated something like this. That is, spiritualism is all about unselfishness, and it's really so. And in this context, I would like to say that there are people who love to use the term spiritualism instead of religion or dharma. But whatever little I have understood, I would like to say that, you see, there is very little difference between spiritualism and religion. Only, I would say, different lies only in the name. not much about the content. Definitely, you may think it otherwise, and you have every right to think so, because everybody has the right to think whatever he or she likes or she thinks. But then, whatever little I have understood, there is very little difference between the two terms, namely spiritualism and religion. As a matter of fact, spiritualism is a kind of new name. Possibly, this is the reason why that people love it. See, if a person uses the same term time and again, then the other persons may not like it. They want something new. I would like to say that, see, as you all know, that religion, dharma, these are the terms that we are familiar with. But spiritualism is a bit, I would like to say, new term. Or you can say something purified term. It's so-called purified. So whatever you may call it, that's not issue. What is important is that there is not much difference between spiritualism and religion or dharma. So the first thing that Sister Thakur Anukulchanda stated to us, the dharma is a desire to elevate others, to elevate others being and becoming like me. So this is really very strange, I would like to say. Because what the question naturally arises, why should I feel for others? So, and the reality is simply this, that most of the people believe in the philosophy of Charba, in which he has stated that don't feel for others. Go on enjoying as much as you can. As a matter of fact, not only the people of India, but also the people of the Western world, they also believe in such truth. For example, in this context, I can recall one incident when Swamiji was in America, Swami Vivekananda was in America, then a foreigner, that is an American, told him that you are a very young sannyasi, and you have a very good physique. You look very lovely, and why should you say, why are you wasting your time in cultivating religion, dharma, like that? And why are you see, why are you sacrificing something? See, rather try to enjoy life. Remember, life is just like an orange. So, and time is not much for us. So, therefore, try to suck the juice as much as you can. This was the suggestion, I would like to say, of that American. Hearing this, Vivekananda replied, and in fact, promptly replied. In other words, pat came the reply. That is, yes, I also think so. That I see, I have all the right to suck the juice of the orange. But then, see, I have no haste. So there is no, I would like to say, because I am eternal, I am immortal. Why should I suck the juice of the orange so hurriedly? So therefore, I would like to suck the juice. Uh, I would like to suck the juice religiously. In other words, I would release the juice of the orange as much as I can, as a matter of fact, very slowly and steadily. Because I think that even if it is not possible, see, in this particular life, so what? I have eternal lives ahead. So therefore, as a matter of fact, I have so many lives ahead. So why should I be so much hasty? This was the answer of Vivekananda. And it is so. So therefore, now, so as I have already stated, that why this question will naturally arise, that why should I feel for others? The obvious reason is simply this, that all of us are relatives. All of us have connections. All of us are coordinated entities. All of us are somehow connected with each other organically. See, and not only this, I would like to say uh, so keenly. There is a theory which is called string theory, which states that each and every object of this whole universe is somehow connected as if through a string. Yeah. So therefore, if you tinker a single object at any place and at any time, then it would have effect to each and every object of the whole universe. This is the, you can say, the essence of string theory. So therefore, everybody is connected. So naturally, the question arises: where from we have come? The obvious answer is we have come from the same Brahman. We have come from the same God, you can say. Or if you do not like this particular term God, doesn't matter. Nature, in that case, you will have to say nature. As you see, Stephen Hawking, possibly the contemporary scientist, you see, who is regarded as the best scientist of the day, as of now. So he has stated that this whole universe has been created through Big Bang. As you all know about this particular term, Big Bang theory. I think all of us, all of you, possibly you are aware of this particular term, Big Bang. So therefore, you know, the universe has been created through Big Bang. Tell it nature, doesn't matter. But our Upanishad has stated the same thing. Remember, Upanishad is the day to day experience that our sages, our rishis have experienced, and they have commented on those experiences. So these are all, you see, I would like to say Upanishads are nothing but science. These are based on day to day experience, nothing imaginary, nothing fictitious, nothing, you see, I would like to say illusion, nothing delusion, more than reality. And our Upanishad has stated that the world has been created, or you can say, yes, well, the world has been created through a sound. And that sound, Upanishad has, I would like to say, has gone even to that extent that it has also stated the magnitude, the tuning of that particular sound. And it is stated as Om. This is the Pranabo Dhoni. This is the Pranab Dhoni. It is stated like this. And in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna stated that Om is the single syllable expression of Brahman. You will get it in, I think, 13th sloka of 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where it is stated, Om Akaksharam Brahmo Deharan Mam Anusmaran Ja Prayati Tejena Deham Sah Jati Paramam Gatim. It means that, you see, he who lives his body while uttering this single syllable Om, which is the manifestation of Brahman himself, you see, he would get the supreme goal, or he would get, or he or she would get supreme goal, or he would reach supreme goal. This is the statement of Lord Krishna, you see, of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, sound is a, and yeah, I know, for example, in Bible also, it is stated that in the beginning there was Word. Word was with God, and Word was God. This was the exact statement that the Bible has stated. That is, in the beginning there was Word. In the beginning means when the universe was not created. At the time of the creation, that is referred to as in the beginning. In the beginning there was Word. Word was with God, and ultimately it is stated Word was God. Word is God. So everywhere it is stated that word, that is sound. Sound is the manifestation of Brahman. Or you can say God. We say God, you know. But then if you have allergy, if you have apathy, you see, if you have allergy, I would like to say, on this particular term, God, well, then you say just nature. It makes absolutely no difference. Very little difference, I would like to say. So therefore, the first thing that Sister Thakur Kulchandra stated, that is as I've already stated, that is, you know, you need to elevate, you need to feel for others. You need to feel for others. You need to do unselfish deeds for others. as all of us have come from the same Brahman. So therefore, we have connection. We are all related, organically related. I would like to say. So now the question arises: who would feel for others? As our Upanishad has stated, Jastu sarvani bhutani atmanne vanupasati sarva bhuteshu cha atmanam tatana bijugupsate. It means that he who sees he who sees himself within everybody, and he who sees everybody within himself, he cannot hate anybody. You know, and it's those people who are selfish, they actually hate others, they love only themselves. But even then, I would like to say they are the most I would like to say they are the most unfortunate people, most wretched people, I would like to say. But that's another issue. What is important? So therefore, the thing is simply this, that is, as Sisi Thakur has stated, that you need to know the essence of this particular sloka of Upanishad. That is just sarvani bhutani atmanne vanupasati sarva bhuteshu cha atmanam tatana bijugupsate. So this is the matter. Now, and it is also stated, as it is stated, and it's very popular sloka also, as you all possibly all know. Sarve bhavanti sukhino, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kaschit dukho bhago bhave. It means that may all sentient beings be at peace. May may no people suffer from illness. May all of them see what is auspicious, and may see no one suffer. This is the, you can say, essence of this particular soul. So that, just see, unselfishness. First thing, if you want to enter into the kingdom of religion or spiritualism, as Sri Thakur Anukulchand stated, that you need to elevate others being and becoming as much as as much like you. So unselfishness is the first thing, is the first criterion, I would like to say, that you need to practice. So this is religion. Now secondly, he has stated that, you see, uh, that is, the stay of all existence is Dharma, and he is the supreme fulfiller. Let me repeat it again. The stay of all existence is Dharma, and he is the supreme fulfiller. So the question is, uh, and question is, what is Dharma or what is religion? If I ask you to buy 1 kg of religion or Dharma from market, will you get it? The obvious answer is no. But then, if I ask you, do you think that there is absolutely no existence of religion or Dharma? Now, I think you will be in puzzle at that. But then you would like to say, the obvious answer would be, yes, there is existence of religion or Dharma, as there is existence of mercy, sympathy, empathy, kindness. But then, if I ask you, just, you see, buy 1 kg of mind, I see, you see, kindness or sympathy or empathy or, you see, mercy, will you get it? The simple answer is no. But then, don't you think that there is no existence of mercy, sympathy, kindness? The answer is yes, there is. So where from we get it? Again, the answer is very simple. We can feel these are something that are the, you see, that have to be realized through realization, that have to be understood through realization. Mercy, sympathy, empathy. You see, when you get, or you can say when you reach uh, a person who is kind-hearted, then only you would understand what is kindness is all about. Or if you go to a mother, then you will feel what is, you see, what is sympathy, or you can say what is empathy, or you can say what is, you see, I would like to say what is the, you see, uh, kindness is all about, or you can say love and affection is all about to a mother. So love, affection, these are the terms that you won't get in the market. But then it is not that they do not have their own existence. No, no, it is not. They have solid existence, much more than reality. You see, so therefore, as Sri Thakur Kuchanda stated, that the stay of all existence is Dharma, and he is the supreme fulfiller. That means Sri Thakur Kuchanda stated that Dharma is no idea. Dharma is a human being with, see, blood and flesh, or you can say with flesh and blood. So, Dharma religion is a human being. First of all, it is a human being. You see, in flesh and blood. This is the, I would like to say, this is a singular statement that Sri Thakur Kuchanda stated. Very singular, very strange, very astonishing, very, I would like to say, very unheard of. This particular term, particular saying, that is, Dharma is the stay of all existence is Dharma, and he is the supreme fulfiller. Now, who is the supreme fulfiller? You see, you can say God or Brahman, but then Brahman itself is, as a, you see, is, as we say, nameless and formless. He is present everywhere, as nature is. Ah, and this is precisely the reason why we cannot fathom, we cannot understand, we cannot realize about the nature, because it is omnipresent. Same is the case with Brahman also. It is formless and nameless, but then it can take a form and name. Then we say him as supreme fulfiller, or you can say in Bengali it is called Purushottam, and in Sanskrit also. And you possibly know that in Bhagavad Gita, the 15th chapter is a chapter is which is called Purushottam Yoga, where Lord Krishna stated about the inner nature of a Purushottam, or who is Purushottam, who is the supreme fulfiller. He has stated, I think in the 11th sloka of 15th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna stated, Jasmat Kharam. What is what? Yes, he is telling, Jasmat Kharam Otito Aham Aksharado Picha Uttamaho Atosmi Loke Vede Cha Prathita Purushottamaho. That is, I am beyond mutable, and I am even above immutable. I am beyond mutable, and I am even above immutable. That is the reason why in scriptures they say myself as Purushottam. That is a supreme person. This is the statement of Lord Krishna. Now, so therefore, why? The question is why. Sri Thakur Anukul has stated that if you want to know, or if you want to hear religious discourse, then you must hear it, you must listen it from a person within whom religion is manifesting, or dharma is manifesting, dharma is exhibiting, isn't it? So therefore, the person within whom religion or dharma is reflecting, is manifesting, is exhibiting, he is the dharma. He is the very epitome, he is the very embodiment of dharma or religion. So therefore, this is the, you can say, statement of Sri Thakur Anukul, that is stay of all existence is dharma. Now, as you know, you see, and the question is, again, I would like to say, as Sri Thakur Anukul stated, that, as I've already stated, that dharma or religion, as stated by Sri Thakur Anukul, can be discussed through multiple point angles. Now, the another angle is Sri Thakur Mukulchanda stated that being and becoming is the essence of religion. Being and becoming. This is very strange. You see, I don't know whether any other actually supreme person has stated this particular saying or not. I do not know. Well, and then Sri Thakur Mukulchanda stated that Dharma religion is all about being and becoming. That is how to live and how to grow. This is the simple question. Now, the question that you see, I would like to say, I would like to put another contrary question to my question. As you see, that is, you see, there are so many people who are least interested in religion or dharma, but they also live their life. They also live their lives, and then they live very. I would like to say more or less perfectly, or in perfect harmony. So, what is the necessity of religion or dharma at all? Now, yes, it is. But then I would like to give another answer also. That is, the creatures, the other creatures other than human being, they also live, they also live, they also live their life in perfect harmony. So, what is the difference? You see, religion or dharma is a practice of how to lead life. Is a practice of how to live life. Lead life. Why? Because there are certain barriers, there are certain hurdles, there are certain impediments for better, I can say, for better way to lead the life. What are the impediments? They are, you see, togetherly called as complexes. Possibly you know that it is stated in all the views, that is calm, that is desire, hunkering, yeah, crowd, anger, low, you see, greediness, and then moho, that is delusion or illusion. Modo means pride, and mascharjo means, you see, revenging attitude. You can say uh, demonic attitude towards others. So therefore, these are some of the complexes, or envy. You can say envy also. Uh, these are some of the complexes that we are entrapped. We are entrapped by, I would like to say. So, as Sister Thakur Mukulchanda stated, the religion is all about being and becoming. It means that how to, you see, how to get rid of the obsession of complexes. Obsession of complexes. But then remember, complexes are as such not bad. As a matter of fact, complexes are required to lead life. If I do not employ, if I do not use these complexes, then even I say, then I would be subman. I would be you see, I would be equated with other creatures. So therefore, proper employment, proper use of complexes is what is needed. As Lord Krishna also has stated the same thing, is in Bhagavad Gita, in I think 11th sloka of the 7th chapter, where Lord Bhagavad Gita is where Lord Krishna stated, Bolam bolo botam chaham kamo rago vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatar savo. It means that, you see, at the, you see, and of the strong I am the strength, and of the strong I am the strength, which is devoid of, you see, passion and attachment. And among creatures, I am the desire, which is not contrary to righteousness. This is the statement of Lord Krishna. So, I am the desire. You see, just see the paradox. As I've already stated, that there are some impediments, some barriers for our healthy, lead of life. As I've already stated, that For example, you see, desire, the first thing, calm, which is the which I would like to say which poses the most difficult impediments. See, for our proper way of life. But then Lord Krishna is stating that I am the desire. Is it not paradoxical? No, because Lord Krishna stated desire is what is needed to lead our life, but then controlled desire. As he has stated, that I am the desire of the creatures, which is not contrary to righteousness. Dharma aviruddho means that which is not contrary to righteousness. So therefore, I would like to lead my life employing the my all the complexes, but controlled complexes. That is, I should have absolute control over the complexes. Only then I can lead the proper life, I would like to say. And leading a proper life is what is the need of the hour in order to achieve our ultimate destiny. There is ultimate goal, that is immortality. You know, Bhagavad Gita is so famous throughout the world, especially for two reasons. First reason is it speaks about immortality. Gita speaks about immortality. That means we are immortal. We were in the past, we are in the present, we will be in the future. No one can destroy us, no one can annihilate us. Maybe my body would lost or would decompose, but my self, original self, that is the Atman, that would remain. So therefore, the question they say, so therefore, I'm immortal. But the thing is this, that this is something theory. This is something, this term is present only in books. I cannot realize it. I cannot understand it. So, in order to understand, in order to realize that I am immortal, you see, you need to lead a proper way of life. I say so. So lead of life is the, you can say, is the matter, is the crux of the matter. As Sister Thakur Ankulchandra stated, that being and becoming, that is the actual proper way of leading life. That is dividing, or you can say ignoring the obsession of complexes. Yeah, if a person can lead his or her life, then he would soon reach the supreme goal, that is the immortality. You see, and other points are also there. Anyway, I will not go into the details about each and every point, because I would see in a very nutshell. I would have to discuss the matters, so that, because time is a factor. But then, if this is again a paradoxical matter. If I give maximum emphasis on time, then I have seen that my lecture or delivery, or you can say my deliberation, uh, doesn't get its own favor, or its own, I would like to say, own beauty. Anyway, the second thing, or you can the second point through which I can discuss about religion, as Sister Thakur Ankulchandra stated, that is, to know dharma is to know the root cause of anything, that which affords, you see, energy, and that which affords everything, and to know that is wisdom. So therefore, to know dharma is to know the root cause of everything, that which affolds everything, uh, and to know that is wisdom. So you can easily understand that there is a clear cut connection between dharma and wisdom. Once Sister Thakur Ankulchandra stated that in dharma or religion, there is a love of knowledge. There is a love of knowledge. Love of knowledge is the essence of dharma. You know, we people, we always hunker after knowledge. Do you know why? The answer is very simple and obvious also. Because my inner nature is, you see, knowledge. My inner nature is knowledge. So I have every right uh, to know about the knowledge. But then I would like to say that no, there is subtle difference between knowledge and wisdom. As Agma Priyananda, you see, the celebrated Maharaj of Ramakrishna Mission, I have the opportunity to hear his deliberations more than once. So therefore, and also recently I have heard a video, in which he has stated that uh, unless knowledge ripens into wisdom, one cannot get peace. Knowledge is that, that is the you see one cannot get peace unless knowledge ripens into wisdom. Otherwise, you see, a person is, let's say, educated, or a person is knowledge person, but then he may not get peace because in him or within her, knowledge has not ripened. Is ripened into wisdom. So therefore, unless and until knowledge has knowledge is ripened into wisdom, one cannot get peace. So there is a perfect relationship between knowledge, peace, and wisdom. So, as Sister Thakur stated, that you see, to know dharma is to know, you know, you see, uh, is to know the root cause of everything. The root cause of everything. Now, you know, possibly Einstein, he has formulated a theory, the theory of everything. That is, he wanted to discover a single theory through which everything can be explained, everything can be clarified, everything, or you can say every mysteries of the whole world can be uh, explained. Now, the question is, naturally, question arises. That is, how is it can be how that can be that is possible? Well, you know, we must know the root cause of everything. For example, myself. Myself is a see. If I ask you, for example, I would like to ask you that who are you? This is the question. Or try to understand the inner, or you can say try to understand the nature of yourself. That is, try to unravel the mystery of the root cause of yourself. That is, who are you? I think you will definitely say that my body is myself. Is it really so? The answer is possibly not. Not that I am only the body, because there are, as our Upanishad has stated, that we are a five-layered entity. Five-layered entity. Number one is as a you see, as body. There's no doubt about it. And then and we know that we have a body. You see, for example, myself has a body, and if I say that I'm only body, no, it is not, because body is composed of only matters, maybe carbon, hydrogen, oxygens, so on and so forth, atoms and molecules. So body is composed of matters. But then I am not only the body. Behind the body, there is vital force, which is called prana, through which my body is, you can say, body gets its maintenance. In other words, as long as my life, or you can say, as long as my vital force remains, I can bear my body. The moment my vital force ceases to exist, I cannot bear my body. That is in death what happens. That is, body remains, but something, ceases to exist. That is the vital force that we say jivan. But then, only we are not only the body, we are not only the vital force. Behind that, there is something which is called mind. Mind, which is not actually Or again, I would like to say, what is the composition of prana or vital force? It is a mixture of matter, not entirely made up of matter, but not in it is made up something which we have not yet discovered. But that not that it is not dependent on matter. Definitely, if it is dependent on matter. For example, if I do not eat, then my vital force will automatically weakens. Definitely, it would weakens. But then, so therefore, vital force again depends upon my depends upon my body, and my body is entirely dependent on vital force. But then vital force is not only composed of matter. Yes, it is composed of matters and beyond something. But then mind, for example, the next step, the next compartment, the mind is not composed of matter, because of the fact that it is something even more subtle. Now you may question that, as long as I see, is there is, or rather like this, I would like to put it like this, that is it like an onion, that it has got several layers and sublayers? Yes, it is. It is just like an onion, and we have certain layers, and we can even separate these layers. It may sound peculiar, but it's a fact that we can separate the different layers. If you say why, now I'm giving a living example, or you can say practice day to. I would like to state a day to day experience. For example, see by which instrument we can say we see. Your answer would be that through eyes we see. Yes, it is true, but is it only by eyes? The answer is no, because the impulse or stimulus that the eyes take from the object that is to be seen, and then it carries the information through optic nerve. This is the science to brain. But then in the brain, if I say that there is mind, though I would like to say that, so let's say like this, there is mind. But then if mind is not attached with the eyes, you cannot see, because of the fact, for example, you see, uh, suppose you are suppose you are on a railway platform, and you see that so many trains are going on or passing on, and so many passengers they are going on, you see it. But then suddenly you got for example, you get a news from your household that somebody has died, very near and dear ones. Immediately, your mind would be deflected from the eyes. Not that your eyes are not seeing the passengers or the trains that are passing on. Everything your eyes is seeing. But then you cannot say which train just have passed a couple of minutes ago. You cannot say, because mind was not attached. And that is the reason why we used to say to students, for example, you must not only read, you must, focus your attention to your text matter. Otherwise, you cannot understand. There are students who actually who read, but they have not, you can say, they do not focus their attention to the text matter, and as a result of which they cannot they cannot recall it. So therefore, you can say, for seeing an object, not only the eyes but mind has a predominant role to play. So therefore, there is mind. Now behind mind, there is another one, which is higher mind. We can say which is higher mind, or the other name is intellect, buddhi. Which is higher mind means it is even more purified. Even it is more purified mind. For example, this particular mind would select which thing that I would like to think at this particular moment. You see, mind means a bundle of thoughts, but then super mind, it means that mind which discriminates which thinking should be given first priority and which thinking or which thought should be given last priority. So this is what is known as superior mind or intellect. And then, even then, there is another thing, another entity which is present behind every entities, that is pure consciousness. That is Chaitanya, pure consciousness. So therefore, we are a five-layered entity. So in order to know the root cause of, so Thakur Anukul Kotha stated that to know Dharma is to know the root cause of everything, which affolds everything. You see, and to know that is wisdom. This is wisdom. You see, for example, if I ask you that who are you, and if you answer that I am only the body, then it is simply knowledge. It is not wisdom. Wisdom is that you are not only the body. You are body. You are mind. Sorry, you have a prana or vital force, vitality, and then a mind, and then superior mind, and then pure consciousness. This is what is wisdom is all about. And you can understand it only by knowing Dharma, only by knowing religion. But then you can easily put this question: if it is so, then as you have stated, that is, I have stated that Dharma is all about, he is the supreme fulfiller. That is, the stay of all existence is supreme fulfiller. If it is so, then so by knowing Dharma, how can I understand about the root cause? The answer is to follow the instructions of Supreme Person is Dharma is all about. Is our sadhana, is our avoid activity, is our you can say is the need of the hour. So this is another matter. Now coming to the third thing, that is from third angle, I would like to uh, discuss uh, religion as stated by Sri Thakur Kuchand. He has stated that desire born exhausted in want, the mind seeks dharma or the supreme being, otherwise not. Let me repeat it again. Desire born exhausted in want, the mind seeks dharma or the supreme being, otherwise not. This is very, I'd like to say, very deep statement. Very deep statement. As a matter of fact, this is possibly the, you can say, the most significant saying, because you just see that is a you know uh, but then let me discuss about the the third point is a, sorry, I have actually gone past the third point. The third point is that the what affords the existence of an object is dharma. So long as that remains unknown, nothing is known exactly. So therefore, it is stated, Sri Thakur Chinda stated that what affords the existence of an object is dharma. Actually, this point is also related with my earlier point, but then this can be discussed even in certain, see, further details. That the whole world, the whole universe, is made up of the same principle. This is the strange finding of our sages and rishis. The whole universe, even, see, myself is also the part of the universe. Everything, every object is made up of upon the same principle. If you say how, for example, we see the galaxies in the sky, stars, you see planets, stars, so many planets and so many stars. Earth is just a mediocre planet. Same is the case with Sun also. Sun is also simply a, you see, medium-sized star. There are so many big stars, so many planets and stars, and we see the galaxies of stars in the sky, and we really get, see, astonished. We really get you see, very it's really, I would like to say, a very strange affair. If we see the sky, we really cannot fathom the beauty of the sky so easily. But then if I ask you how, or you can say what is the causal mechanism, or what is the principle by which uh, these are made up of? Just see. Uh, for example, in our case, we live on Earth. Now the Earth revolves around Sun. This all of us we know it. So therefore, and not only Earth, you see, revolve. You see, you can say centering the sun. There are so many planets that are revolving. You see, as you all know, nine planets. I don't know whether it is it is an increasing trend or not. Possibly it is an increasing trend. But then, so therefore, more than one planets they are actually revolving around the sun, making sun as center, isn't it? Now, so that, but then sun, planets, these are vast things. These are huge things, isn't it? But then, if we see even the, you see, most very small object, for example, an atom, which is even smaller than molecule. You see, an atom. If we see the principle by which an atom is made up of, we see the same principle, because within the atom we know that at the center there is nucleus, and the nucleus consists of, you see, neutron and proton, and encircling the nucleus electrons are revolving through electron cells, and there are other particles also, p particle, meson, antiproton, so on and so forth. But then, what is important, that is by the same mechanism, by the same principle, even the vast, you see, vast thing, vast matter, that is the, you see, stars, planets, etc., they are also revolving. And even the smallest thing, that is the most smallest thing, than an atom, is also made up of the same principles, or you can say is based upon the same principle through which, you see, electrons are revolving through, you see, encircling the nucleus at its center. Just see. So therefore, the first thing, there is stars, planets, galaxies. If we say them as macrocosm, and if we say an atom as microcosm, then there is a commonness. See, its commonness is simply this, that is the same, by, you see, by the same principle, based upon the same principle, microcosm as well as microcosm is made up of, or both microcosm and macrocosm, they function, you see, on the basis of the same principle. This is the most strange discovery of our sages and rishis. And these are, you see, these are the experiences that our sages and rishis have experienced, and they have commented. And these are, you see, these are written in our Upanishads and also in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is actually, you can say, the essence of Upanishad is rather stated in the Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, this is the matter. Now coming to the fourth angle, you see, Sri Thakur Chandra stated that desire formed exhausted in want, the mind seeks dharma or the supreme being, otherwise not. This is a very strange saying, I would like to say. You see, just see Buddhadev, the life of Buddhadev. You know, when he was a prince, his father kept him in absolute holiness, absolute, you see, I would like to say, in absolute bliss, I would like to say, in according to him, because an astrologer said that you would like to, you see, you would like to keep this particular boy, that is particular infant, right from his birth, in perfect amusements, in perfect, you see, if this particular infant, or you can, if this boy gets touch with the slightest, you can say, uh, slightest sorrow, slightest suffering, then he would leave the home immediately. This was the prophecy of an astrologer. And naturally, Suddhadan, his father, he made every arrangements for amusements for Buddhadev, isn't it? And when Buddhadev, you see, Buddhadev reached his adolescence period, and then he was married to a very nice girl, and in the course of time, his son Rahul was born. So therefore, he lived his life up to that extent in absolute amusement, in absolute, you see, in so-called absolute bliss. But then that amusement, that is earthly amusement, material amusements, material pleasure, uh, could not keep him within the palace. One day, when he heard the sufferings, that is, he heard that a person has died. He immediately asked, "Why has he died?" The answer was very simple: because he was suffering from very many diseases, because he was old. His immune system was not capable enough to fight against the diseases. So therefore, he died. This is the simple answer. But then Buddhadev immediately thought, what? So therefore, we cannot conquer sorrow. After all, we cannot conquer this particular agility, this particular old age. We cannot come out from the old age. We cannot conquer all the diseases of the old age. So at least and at last we cannot conquer, or we have not able to. We have not. I'd like to say we have not able to conquer death. This particular question, whenever struck the heart of Buddhadev, he immediately left his palace, and as you all know, he had gone to Goya, which is famously known as Buddha Goya. Why? To to make a research whether it is possible to conquer death. In other words, he was finding his way to conquer immortality. That is the basic thing of Bhagavad Gita. So Sri Raghunath stated that desire formed exhausted in want. Why? That is, Buddhadev was exhausted in want, exhausted in earthly pleasures. He was exhausted. He was rather suffocated by the earthly pleasures, by the material pleasures. So then he thought that possibly these are fleeting pleasures. These pleasures are not permanent pleasures. So therefore, I need to search for permanent pleasures. I need to search for, something which is unchangeable. So this was this. So therefore, Sri Raghunath stated that desire prone, exhausted in want. Yeah, see, desire prompt, exhausted in want, uh, the mind seeks dharma or the supreme being, otherwise not. In this connection, I would like to say that, so therefore, you need to get exhausted by the worldly pleasures. You need to avoid, you need to sacrifice the fleeting pleasures, because you need to know that these are all temporary, nothing permanent. These are all transient, so impermanent. So you need to search for something unchangeable pleasure, something immutable, something permanent. So this is the matter, so therefore, as Vivekananda also stated the same thing, that is almost like this: the religion comes from dissatisfaction with the present state of affairs. Religion comes from the dissatisfaction with the present state of affairs. This was the statement of Vivekananda. Yes, it is so. In this connection, I would like to say a story. I'd like to say a story of Ramakrishna Dev, where he has stated, very funnily, I would like to say, but then it has got, spiritual relevance, definitely. He has stated that when a fisherman casts his net on the pond, then hearing the sound of the net, some pieces, they immediately, fled. They immediately, go out from the net, because they do not want to get entrapped by the net. That is the Maya, that is the delusion that we are so much obsessed obsessed of. Most of the people, what we people want money, we people want house, we people want cars, we people want beautiful girls. Same is the case with girls also. They also want a beautiful lad. So these are some of our earthly or worldly demands. And through, if these demands are met, then we think that we are perfectly happy. But then, as I've already stated, that in this case, some of the pieces, hearing the sound of the net, they immediately fly from the net. That means before the net touches their body, their bodies, they immediately fly. They are the fortunate ones because they have understood that the worldly pleasures or the earthly pleasures or the material pleasures are fleeting pleasures, are temporary pleasures. This is not the ultimate destiny of pleasure. This is not the ultimate bliss. There is ultimate bliss, and that is immortality. So, and that is of course God also. To get God, in other words, as already as our Ramakrishna, there were also other supreme persons. All of them have stated that that to see the supreme goal of our human life is to get God, is to get God. In other words, godlyhood is our ultimate destination. So therefore, and that is the perfect bliss that we do not know. We do not know the magnitude of the bliss. This is precisely the reason why we are so hunkering after earthly pleasures. Anyway, so therefore, so that those pieces, as I've already stated, but then some pieces are there when net touches their bodies, then they want to get away from the net. They are, after all, better, if not best, like other fishes. Yeah, they are better. That they have the intention to get out from the net. That is, they do not want to get themselves entrapped with the Maya or delusion, isn't it? And as Lord Krishna has also stated in the 14th sloka of 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where he has stated, দৈবী হেষা গুণময়ী মম মায়া দুরত্যয়া মামেব যে প্রপদ্যন্তে মায়ামেতাম তরন্তি তে. So, this is the matter. That is, this divine Maya of mind, that is delusion of mind, is constituted by gunas, that is attributes, and it is very difficult to cross over. But then, who take refuge in me alone can cross over. This is the statement of Lord Krishna. Because he or she who has taken refuge in Lord, they can easily come over from the Maya. But then it's not very easy to cross over this particular impediments or Maya. So therefore, as Sri Thakur has rightly stated, that desire pond exhausted in one, that is that person who is fed up with the earthly pleasures, with the material pleasures, material pleasures or material wealth, whatever you may call it. They are the person who are fit, I would like to say, who are fit to get the godlyhood. So therefore, and then as Ramakrishna Dev has stated, that there are some pieces who, even when net touches their bodies, they remain perfectly well. They think, well, it's all right. But then they feel the sorrow, they feel the suffering only when they come on the land. Only then. And possibly this is, I think nature, nature's slap, I would like to say, is very much needed. Unless we get the slaps from the nature, we do not, we usually do not revoke, or you can say invoke our this particular sense that these are all fleeting pleasures. We want to get over these fleeting pleasures because we need God. We need the ultimate bliss. We need the perfect bliss, because that bliss, in magnitude and in everything, these earthly pleasures or material pleasures are absolutely nothing to compare with. So, this is the matter. As Sri Thakur has rightly stated, exhausted in want. So, it is also, it is, religion or dharma, whatever we call it, is not for all. It's particularly for those people who are somehow dissatisfied, at least to a certain extent, with the worldly fleeting pleasures. So this is the statement of Sri Thakur. Now then, Sri Thakur has stated that the purpose of life is to drive away want completely, and that is possible only by knowing the cause. So this is the fifth statement of Sri Thakur, where he has stated that that is the purpose of life is to drive away want completely. That is possible only by knowing the cause. That is through dharma or through religion. So therefore, Why? Now the question naturally arises: why we are so much interested with the earthly pleasures, with the with the worldly pleasures? This is also a question, and a very relevant question also. The answer is because we are obsessed with the complexes, because we have desires, because we have greediness, we have enviness, we have delusion or illusion, pride. These are some of the complexes, through which we are obsessed of. This is precisely the reason why we are so much interested with the worldly pleasures, isn't it? Just think. As a matter of fact, dharma or religion is something to be pondered over. Not that. So you need to think very, precise thinking, very deep thinking. If you think, then only we will get the answer from the day-to-day experience. For example, uh, whatever fleeting pleasure or earthly pleasure we get, if you deeply see those pleasures, then you would see that these pleasures are primarily, or you can say, are at first uh, good to bear, or we can good to taste, I would like to say. But then gradually, as time processes, or you can say as time passes, we would see that these pleasures are not so much palatable as they were previously, isn't it? And ultimately, we see these pleasures would have got almost no values. But then, without them, we cannot live. This is the question. This is the matter. But then, religious pleasures, you can say, or you can say the spiritual pleasures are such that they are bitter at the beginning. In the beginning, they are bitter, but gradually you get taste, and ultimately you get the maximum taste, and you cannot you cannot you cannot live this particular pleasure. You see, and then so this is the matter, and not only so therefore, as Vivekananda stated, that religion comes from the dissatisfaction with the present state of affairs. This is really very true. And so therefore, those people who are dissatisfied with the earthly pleasures, with they are sometimes they get depressed. And depression, uh, we used to say that depression is a very bad thing. It has got only the ill effects. Not necessarily so. Depression has its own, good effects also. As a matter of fact, depression is stated as yoga. That is the connection. You see, it is a kind of connection through which one can get connected with the God. It may sound peculiar, isn't it? But then the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is, as you all know, what is the name? Arjuna Vishada Yoga. That is the melancholy of Arjuna. Why? That is, Arjuna, when he came into the battlefield in order to kill the enemies, and he was resolute. He was resolute in the beginning. But then, when he came into the battlefield, he suddenly got depressed and said that I would not kill my the enemies because they are my elders, they are my relatives, such and such. That means suddenly depression, actually, you can say depression encaptured Arjuna, and from this depression, as a matter of fact, he got the connection with the God. That is the reason why depression. Can you see? Have you come across such scripture, such religious scripture where depression is designated as yoga? The melancholy of Arjuna, the Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the first chapter of Gita. So not that depressions are as such bad. So depression has its good results also. In this connection, I would like to say, Srishandu Mukhopadhyay, the celebrated writer, and also he is also a very religious person. He is a disciple of he has an ardent disciple of Sri Thakur Unkuchandu. He also got depressed, more than once. But then he got the answer from Sri Thakur Unkuchandu. That's a separate thing altogether. What is important is that not that he got only the bad results of depression. Yes, he was depressed, and for depression, his life was at almost stake. But then it is not that it has got. It has got. These depressions have no good effects. Yes, as a matter of fact, the world itself. become a very strange field to them. So, and they get some inputs, they get some, I would like to say, realizations from their depressions, and they actually manifest their realization through their literary works. And that is the reason why their literary works are so profoundly so profoundly famous, because those are written based on realization during depression. Those are stored within the mind, and those you see those, you can say, memories are rather reflected in their writings from time to time. So therefore, it is not that depression is always bad. And then the next is number 6. Here, Sisi Thakur stated, "What will remove want and how? From this thought, the question of the Supreme Being arises at last." Let me tell it again. What will remove want and how? From this thought, the question of the Supreme Being arises at last. At last. As you all know, that is the Buddha, for example. He thought how to get rid of these sufferings. You see, and then he thought it, you see, and so therefore he thought it. And as you all know, that he understood that, and he has stated 4 noble truths, as you all know. First truth is that suffering is there. Suffering is a reality. Suffering is not something imaginary. You see, some people say that no, no, I am in perfect, we are in perfect peace, but then it is not. They are actually deluded people, as you know. Anyway, but what is important is that he told 4 noble truths, as you all know, that suffering is there. Suffering is a reality. And number second truth is that there is a reason, or there are reasons behind suffering or sorrows. And number 3, that one can come out from the sufferings or sorrows. And number 4, that one can get enlightened through through meditation and through, you can say, avoid activity. This was the answer of Buddha. So Buddhadev thought how I can remove this want. That is how I can get the real bliss. How I can conquer the sufferings. How I can cross over these sufferings or sorrows. And then he actually meditated. Meditation means what? He thought. He gave a very this is significant thought on how to get how to get over these sorrows, how to get over these sufferings, and he got a pathway. However, and he gave, as you all know, the eightfold paths, as you all know, Ashtanga Yoga, to speak truth, and there are so many to live in morality. Morality, as a matter of fact, has taken a very morality has taken the supreme, I would like to say, supreme importance in the Buddhist philosophy. So therefore, this is the truth. Anyway, then as yes, you know. So what is important? The important thing is how we can remove the want, how we can get over the sorrows. If we give, if we give the, or you can say, if we give everything to God. So, as Lord Krishna has stated in the 30th sloka of the 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna stated, very nice sloka, Moi sarvani karmani sannasya adhatma cetosa nirashir nirmamo bhutva judhasya vigato jaro. Let me tell it again. Moi sarvani karmani sannasya adhatma cetosa nirashir nirmamo bhutva judhasya vigato jaro. It means that devoid of the fever of the soul, engage in battle. There is Lord Krishna is giving suggestion to Arjun that which is devoid of the fever of the soul, engage in battle by dedicating all the actions to me, and with your mind intact on me, and becoming free from expectations and egotism. or egoism. Try to become free from expectation. Don't expect anything. Battle. That is, you must work for him only and give all the actions to him. Only then you will get the answer, because in time you will find the right path through which you can cross over the sufferings, or you can say you can cross over the uh, you see sorrows. So now coming into the next point, that is Sister Thakur stated, dharma never becomes many, it is always one. This is There is no variety of it. Let me tell it again. Dharma never becomes many, it is always one. There is no variety of it. This is really, I would like to say, very revolutionary statement. I don't know whether people, I don't know how people would look at this particular statement. But this is the statement of Lord Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. He has stated that dharma never becomes many. It is always one. And there cannot be any variety of it. This is the statement of Lord Krishna, Lord Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra, as you all know. Because, you know, uh, what is dharma? You see, that is how to cross over the sufferings, how to get rid of the sufferings, how to get the you see, how to struggle, how to get the joy of struggle. In this connection, I would like to say about Kunti Devi. You see, very I would like to say you see, very little is known about Kunti Devi, but I think she was the most educated lady. You see, very knowledgeable lady. She had, you see, extreme wisdom, I would like to say, because as you all know, once it happened like this. That is, once the Pandavas, they were in trouble because of the conspiracy hatched by I see Duryodhan, all know. And then, as usually was the case, Kunti immediately called Lord Krishna to solve the problem. And Lord Krishna came and said that, see, I would like to give you a bliss. I would like to give you a, you can say, bore, you say bliss. I would like to give this. Then she says, what? See, Lord Krishna says that, see, you are all virtuous people, but then you have to face all the hurdles, all the unnecessary difficulties, unnecessary troubles. So then, I would like to give this particular, you can say, solution, that you do not have any difficulties or any troubles in the future. Will you give this particular solution from me? Kunti Devi said, what is the profit? Lord Krishna says, well, you won't be in any trouble. Is that not enough? You won't be in trouble. You would be in perfect bliss. You would be in perfect harmony. You live in perfect peace. Is that not enough? Kunti Devi said, no, I do not need such solution. I always need that struggle should come. We need to cross over the struggle by the presence of you. That is by following your instruction. See, let troubles come. Only then we get the vision of yourself. So the message of this particular, you can say, particular event is simply this, that you should enjoy the joy of struggle. This is also another thing. So anyway, so this is the matter. Now this is true for all the dharmas that we are familiar with. We people say Buddha dharma, Hindu dharma, Muhammadan dharma, like that and this. But Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra stated, like this. That is, no. How is it? If just to get over the sorrows, if just to get over the sufferings is the primary thing, then how, if this is the basis of religion, then how religion can be many? You see, apart from many, how can it be even two? It is always one, and there is a variety of it. And Sister Thakur, hereafter he has stated also that, in my opinion, that is, Sister Thakur has written like this, that in my opinion, to speak of Hindu dharma, Christian dharma, Mohammedan dharma, Buddhist dharma, etc., is wrong. Rather, there are so many views. This is the statement of Sister Thakur. Let me tell it again. In my opinion, to speak of Hindu dharma, Christian dharma, Mohammedan dharma, Buddhist dharma, etc., is wrong. Rather, there are so many views. This is the statement of Lord Krishna. Because it is rightly so. For example, if I, you see, if I say something about the dharmas, or you can say uh, religions, then we get, let's for example, Hindu Dharma. What are the salient features of Hindu Dharma? If we closely see, then these are almost same with other religions also. For example, you see, for example, in Hindu Dharma, for example, what is the essence of Hindu Dharma? The essence of Hindu Dharma is simply this: that is, uh, you know, uh, in Hindu Dharma, it is stated that, uh, or you can say, Hindu Dharma is based upon eternal truth. That is, you see, that is, it believes in the Atman and Paramatma. Atma and Paramatma. That means we people are Jivatmas while God is Paramatma. And we need to get united with Paramatma. We need to get united with the Lord, that is with the God. Hindu Dharma believes in karma and reincarnation. In karma and reincarnation. That is, whatever good deeds that we do, it has, or those deeds have their own benefits, have their own good effects. Same is the case with bad deeds also. And same is the case with mixed deeds also. There are three types of deeds, as you know. You see, bad deeds, good deeds, and mixed deeds. Yeah, anyway, but they have their own, merits and demerits, as you all know. But then, Hindu Dharma believes in such principle, and it also believes in reincarnation. That is, as I've already stated about Vivekananda, as that particular American said, that try to suck the juice of the orange as much as you can, because life is only one. Vivekananda replied simply, they said, "No, I do not think so, because I have eternal life ahead ahead of myself. So therefore, I am not worried about about sucking the juice of the orange so hastily." So we believe in the reincarnation, and in Bhagavad Gita also it is stated in the fifth sloka, fourth chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna stated, "Bohuni me vyatitani janmani tavo charjuno tannahang vedo sarvani natang vetho parantapo." মানে, many lives of me have passed. So is yours. But then the difference is, I recall them all, but you not. O scion of Bharat dynasty. This was the answer of Lord Krishna. So therefore, reincarnation is a phenomenon that Hindu Dharma believes in. But then I would like to say Hindu Dharma, Hindu views in that case, and then other things are also there. But the essence, anyway. And then coming to the Mohammedan Dharma, they believe in the, I would like to say, or you can say, essence of Mohammedan Dharma is that it is founded on the absolute, uncompromising monotheism. That is, Allah is all, and it also believes in Advaitavad. That is, only Allah is the reality. And it also believes that the Muhammad Rasul is the last messenger of God. It is like this, that, and this. But you see, the essence of Muhammadan Dharma is simply this. Number one is, you can say, Sahahada. Sahahada means the declaration of faith. That is, I have total faith on Allah. This is the statement. Then secondly, Salaha. That is the daily prayer connecting the individual to God. The same thing. That is, you see, Jivatma wants to get united with the Paramatma. The same is the case, but through prayers. Here, through prayers. That is, as we say, it is namaz, like that. And then Zakat. Zakat is the yearly charity to support the less fortunate. I'm telling it from Google, actually. And then Swam. That is the fasting during Ramadan to cultivate self-control. Is something that is from how to get rid of from the obsession of complexes. Nothing else. Nothing more, nothing less. And then coming to the, you see, Hajj, that is the pilgrimage to Mecca, demonstrating unity and, you see, and equality. So these are, you can say, this is the essence of Mohammedan Dharma. And then coming to the, you see, Buddha, Christian Dharma, for example, Christian Dharma. Lord Jesus Christ is their prophet, as you all know. And you see, Trinity, you can say. Number one is this universal love and compassion is the essence of Christian Dharma. And then forgiveness and grace. and then divine incoordination and sacrifice. And it also believes in the inner transformation over ritual, and then service and humility. These are some of the pillars through which the Christian Dharma, Christian religion is constructed with, I would like to say. Now coming to the, so all this time, coming to the Buddhism. Buddhism, it is stated that Buddhi, all the three religions that I have discussed, that is the Hindu religion, Mohammedan religion, and Christian religion, all of them believe in the existence of God. But it is stated that Buddhism, I would like to say Buddhism, that is the religion of Buddha, does not believe in the existence of God. But then there is a, as Lord Ramakrishna stated, as same is the case, Sri Thakur Chandra stated that Sri Thakur Chandra stated that that Buddhadev was silent. He never said that God is not present. He never said that God is present. Rather, his intention was, as per the statement of Sri Thakur Chandra, I am telling that his intention was just do it and get the essence, get the result. If I say it, what is the result? Anyway, now coming into the actual thing, that is the essence of Buddha religion. Number one is that sorrow is there. As I've already stated, four noble truths. I think I have already stated. So therefore, no further discussion is particularly needed. But then, four noble truths, that sorrow is there. There is reason for sorrow, and one can get over. One can get rid of the sorrows following some of the processes, and fourthly, one can get enlightened. But then through eightfold paths, this is possible, like that, and then five precepts are also there. But then what is the essence, exact essence? That is overcoming, rather understanding and overcoming sufferings by eliminating ignorance and craving and hatred through four noble truths and eightfold paths. It is a path of enlightenment, focusing on mindfulness, compassion, and ethical beings, aimed at achieving nirvana. That is the end of the cycle of the rebirth. Same thing. Everybody wants to get out from the birth and death cycle. That is rebirth. That is the reincarnation. Everybody wants salvation, moksha. Everybody wants so. Let's see. This is the and why this moksha is not possible, because of the delusion that we are entrapped by. As you all know, that in the I think in the 18th chapter, Lord Krishna, Arjuna said to Lord Krishna that at last my delusion has been destroyed. Yeah, and then and he has stated like this: Nashto moh smriti labdha tat prasadat maya achyut sthitosmi gato sandeho karishe vachanam tavo. It means that my delusion has been destroyed by your grace, and I stand my doubts removed, and I would definitely follow your instruction. So salvation, and coming to the Jainism, for example, the Jainism here also, the first thing is rather non-violence, non-violence to every creature, and self-control. Self-control, and also compassion to all creatures. These are some of the main principles of Jainism. So, as Sri Thakur Chandra stated, that religion never becomes many. It is one. It is always one, and there is a variety of it. Just see, if I say that, for example, if I say that, compassion, sympathy, charity, these are the things that are present in each and every religion. So what is the difference? That is the reason why Sri Thakur Chandra stated that these are only views. And as a matter of fact, Sri Thakur Chandra has also stated that he has stated that, in fact, there is no opposition in the views, different views, the same way, feeling one in many forms. Let me tell it again. In fact, there is no opposition in the views, different views, the same way, feeling one in many forms. And lastly, he has stated, each faith is for, and now let me uh, let me focus on this particular statement. That is, in fact, there is no opposition in the views. As I've already stated, that in Hindu Dharma, in Mohammedan Dharma, for example, Zakat, as I've already stated, is the yearly, you can say, yearly charity for less fortunate. So, given to be given to the less fortunate. Now, in Hindu religion, also Hindu views, I would like to say, Hindu view, there is also, it is given that just sacrifice something. Sacrifice something. There is unselfishness. And it is stated in the 12th sloka of the third chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna stated, Ishtan bhogan hi bho deva darshante jaggo bhavita त्वय्येर दत्तान प्रदायभ्यो जो भुङ्क्ते स्तेनो एव सहो. It means that, nourished by the sacrifices, the gods will indeed give you the coveted enjoyments. But he is definitely a thief who enjoys them, which has been given by them, without sacrificing them at first. So this is the statement of Lord Krishna. Same thing. That is, you must give some charity. Same is the case with Christianity also. He has stated that service and humility. There is a principle. In Buddha, in Jain, for example, here in Jainism, for example, this particular view states that uh, have some compassion for all the creatures. Don't, or you just follow the non-violence pathway. And for this, to maintain, you need to give something. That is unselfish deed is what is needed. So doing unselfish deeds is the essence of all the views. So therefore, as Sri Thakur Anukul Chand has rightly stated, that in fact there is no opposition in the views, different views, the same way feeling one in many forms. Isn't it the same thing? Now, lastly, or you can say, lastly, he has stated that each faith is for the expansion of avoid activity, that is sadhana, that can be in many forms, and as much as is gained by expansion, so much realization, wisdom. So, dharma is based upon realization, to be real in nature. Let me tell it again. Sri Thakur Anukul Chand has written, each faith is for the expansion of avoid activity, that can be in many forms, and as much as is gained by the expansion, so much realization, wisdom. So, dharma is based upon realization, to be real in nature. So therefore, every views, be it Hindu view, be it Mohammedan view, be it Christian view, be it Buddhist view, whatever, is for the expansion of our activity. That is, how to get godlyhood, how to get, or how to characterize my character with the attributes of the God. This is what is known as, you can say, Ishwar Lab, Ishwar Prapti. In Bengali, it's called Ishwar Prapti. It means that it's not that I would like to see the God, physical form of the God by see in my naked eyes. No. Even if God comes, for example, even if God comes in his physical form in front of me, and if I see him naked in my naked eyes, so what to me? This is not what is Ishwar Prapti is all about. Ishwar Prapti is simply this, that I would like to characterize my character. I would like to characterize my character with the attributes of the God. This is what is known as. So, and this is sadhana. That is, as I've already stated, as Lord Ramakrishna stated, is the same is stated by Sri Thakur Anukul Chand, that the ultimate goal of human life is to get God. That is to get godlyhood. That is to get the character of the God. That is sympathy, empathy, kindness. There are so many. Discriminatory power. There are so many. So therefore, what is important, as Sri Thakur Anukul Chand stated, that each faith is for expansion of avoid activity. That is expansion of sadhana. Because it's not a very easy journey to get godlyhood. It's not easy actually. It's a very difficult task. As a matter of fact, the most complex scientific discovery, as we used to say, that this is very difficult pathway. So many scientists have so many scientists have acted in tandem to discover this particular truth. But then to get godlyhood, or in other words, to characterize your character with the attributes of the God is even more complex journey. It's very difficult journey. But then not impossible. After all, everyone is God. I can recall one incident in this connection. Once an old lady came to Sri Thakur Kulchanda, actually commented that, "Oh Thakur, you are the God yourself." And then Thakur, hearing this, Sri Thakur commented that, "You are no less God than myself. You are no less God." So, and not this is definitely the right statement that Sri Thakur Kulchanda stated. Because all of us, if all of us have come from the same Brahman, how can we be separated from Brahman? All of us are Nitya Buddha Suddha Mukta Atma. All of us, Nitya means eternal, Buddha means enlightened, Suddha means pure, Mukta means free. But there is bondage free. All of us are the same. So therefore, all of us are eternal. We are all eternal entity. So therefore, our inner nature is Satchidananda. Satchit Ananda. Sat means existence. I was there. I was in the past. I am in the present. I will be in the future. So this is Sat. And Chit means, you see, this is what is known as knowledge, you can say, or you can say response. And then Anand, that is bliss. So therefore, I am the combination of these three attributes. There is existence, consciousness, and bliss. So therefore, just to understand this, just to realize this is something to be realized. This is not something to you can say to say something. That is the reason why, as Atma Priyananda Maharaj, he is my teacher also in religious field, definitely. Though Sri Thakur Anukul is my guru, and he is my you can say he is my God. To me, he is my God. But then I have got so many lessons, very important lessons from Atma Priyananda Maharaj, the Vice Chancellor, the then Vice Chancellor of the Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda University, which is situated at Belur. I don't know whether he is still BC or not. I really do not know. But then I owe to him a lot. Anyway, he has stated that knowledge cannot give you peace unless knowledge has ripened into wisdom. This is very, it's a really, it's a, I would like to say, a noble truth, because knowledge alone cannot give you peace unless it is ripened into wisdom. So wisdom is something which is based upon realization. And that is the reason why Sri Thakur Anukul stated, to be real in nature. This is very interesting, because all of us, we say, particularly those who are rationalists, they examine the whole universe through through rational thinking, or through, you can say, through arguments, and through you can say it's all right. But then through arguments or through rational thinking, one may not get the realization, which is even more real, which is even more real than that we see in our naked eyes. For example, as I can say, as I've already stated, that is, for example, I would like to wrap up my discussion with this particular story, not actually story, that incident. It is stated in the Upanishad, as a matter of fact. Janaka Raja, Janak king, he was a king. He used to call the enlightened persons to discuss Vedanta philosophy. Once he called Jaggabalka, and he said that, see, by which light we function, but or we see, by which light we function or we see. Jaggabalka said, by the light of the sun. Then Janaka said, well, when sun sets, then Jaggabalka answered, by the light of the moon. Then Jaggabalka said, Janaka Raja said, well, when sun sets, when moon sets, then by which light we function? Jaggabalka said, by the light of the speech. And then, as Janaka Raja said, when sun sets, moon sets, and speech is hushed, then Jaggabalka answered, you see, we see your function by the light of the Atman. That is through Atma Jyoti. That is the light already present within us. This is really a very singular discovery, I would like to say. Very scientific. We feel proud. If we see the spectacular scientific advancement or spectacular scientific discoveries and inventions. But this particular invention is no less spectacular, is no less important, is no less significant. You know, this particular, that is the we function by the light of my own Atman. That is by the sign by the light of my own consciousness. This is the matter. So therefore, but then this is something to be realized. For example, if I let's say if I lose my vision, don't you think do you think that I can't see? I cannot feel anything. Definitely. For example, those people who are blind or even deaf and dumb, don't you do you think that they cannot understand, they cannot realize something? Of course they can, because after all they have also the lights of the Atman, that is Atma Jyoti. By the light of the Atma Jyoti they can feel, they can realize the existence of God and existence of the world that is present outside. So therefore what is important is the realization. As Sisi Thakur and Kulchand very rightly stated, the dharma or religion is based upon realization, to be real in nature. This is something which is the most dependable thing. Even whatever we see whatever we see through our naked eyes, whatever we hear through our ears, whatever we smell through our nose, whatever we taste through our tongue, and whatever we touch through our skin. You see, remember, those may not be absolutely dependent, but the most dependent thing is the realization. This is the most dependable thing. That is the reason why existence of God is something, or dharma is something which is a matter of realization. Even a blind, you can say, born blind, I would like to say, born blind, born deaf and dumb person, they can also realize. You may not be familiar with you may not hear particularly this particular statement, that those who are born blind, they may even see the dreams. Those are colorful also. And in this connection, I would like to say that, let's say, by which light we see dreams? Because in sleeping, while we sleep, our eyes are closed. But then we see everything absolutely, we see clearly in dream. By which light we see dreams? This is a fundamental question, not something imaginary. These are some of the day-to-day experience that we are familiar with. So therefore, there is a light which is present within ourselves. So try to know yourself. Try to know yourself. That is the dharma realization. And that is a matter to be realized. You see, to be real in nature. So this is my humble discussion. It's a very long discussion. I don't know whether I have made justice to my, or rather justice to the statement of Sisi Thakur Kulchandu, as I have discussed it in my own way. Maybe somewhere mistaken, I was mistaken, somewhere maybe it may so happen that my explanation may not be entirely true. Forgive me for that if it is so. But then if I have any credit in explaining his statement rightly, then it is my pleasure, I would like to say. So therefore, I would like to request you to comment also. Be it criticism for me, or be it any felicitation for me, whatever it may be, whatever you deem appropriate, whatever you deem right, you are free, you are at liberty to write your comments, and I would be rather enriched by your valuable comments. Live in love. Joy Guru.